final one. This is meant to be done at home. When you go to take these pictures, you should have your camera, if it's your phone, just set on something level. Hopefully it doesn't move. If you can prop it between something so you could like simulate having a tripod, that would be amazing. What I'm looking for with this is that you have at least 8 of you. You exist in the foreground, middle ground, background, so the front, middle, and back. Partially off the canvas or off to the side. I'll show you that in a minute in my example. You're interacting with yourself at least once. Overlap at least once. Get creative with this. Don't just do it to do it. Like, actually have some fun with this, and then that you edit it very nicely. Let's see, where's that one I wanted to share? I think it's this way. I was in the library. This one, interacting with herself. So she's doing her own makeup right here. And then here she's talking to herself. So in PhotoPea, guys, what you're going to do is go to File, Open, and then figure out, do this exactly how I'm doing this, okay? Because this is way easier than how we've been doing some stuff. Figure out which one, know which picture is your very background. So for mine, I know it's this one. I'm going to hit Open. I'm going to open a new tab for me. Forgive the modeling. Then do File, Open in Place. Bradley taught me this today. Did not know this was a thing. When you do Open in Place, it's going to open them all into different layers for you. It does make them like the smart object file thingies, but it's a lot easier than opening a bunch of tabs and then having to drag everything over. So you can see right now they're kind of populating in my layers automatically. And then you need to take a minute though, and you got to rasterize them. See that little symbol there? That's not going to let you edit anything. So just right click rasterize. I'm not going to do all that, but go through, do those. And then you want to have on top the images of you in the front. And this is what I was talking about when I was saying pop in the corner. And the little eyeballs allow you, gosh, this is a scary picture, to turn things on and off. When you're taking your pictures, make sure you don't just take the 8 that you need. Have options in case something like this happens. And I can just throw that layer away because maybe I'd have 30 of these to choose from and see what really works or doesn't work. Or by the time you've done 3 of these and they're overlapping and it's been some challenging editing, like with pen tooling and detail, you may say, you know what, I don't want that one because this one I'm over here and I don't have to do that then. So give yourself some choices. So you can organize your layers by dragging, like maybe this needs to be probably further in the background. That one can be in front. This probably needs to go to the back further. So organize from furthest back to closest in the front. And then what you're going to do is get rid of, I'm going to turn all these off, the background chunks. So I need to rasterize that one. Okay, I'm going to, you can just erase on this. That's what we've been doing. It's easier, probably. But for me, kind of a shortcut is to use the rectangle marquee here. And if I highlight this chunk, I can just hit delete. And then I highlight this chunk, hit delete, and then through here, delete. It allows you to really get rid of some stuff quickly. If I get too close, though, I might erase myself here in a few minutes. Select, deselect, and then you're going to use the eraser.
They put outside pencil.
Oh, that's cute. I'm going to use the eraser to, oops, it's got to be a fuzzy one. Because you want to get rid of that hard edge is the point of the eraser here. So I'm going to put that hardness to the far left. I'm going to use the brackets. So you need to fuzz this. I am probably going to hit my shirt here. Don't do that. But for the sake of, I don't want to take forever. And I'm going to switch pictures here in a minute. I just wanted to show you how using that selecting tool might make it quicker. Because if you erase by hand, a lot of times you'll you'll leave something like a little bit of that behind, and that can cause problems later. So erase, erase. I'm going to jump over to this one. So what I have here, I have this one in front. These are in order, and then that's the next one, and further back. To edit this kind of thing, you need to make sure you're clicked on the layer. I'm going to closely erase what I can. And then over here, I can get some of this, but I'm going to have to go in and pen tool this. Or if you're not comfortable with the pen tool, you have to erase some of this by hand to make this really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off everything so I'm not distracted. I'm gonna zoom in, and also take note though, I only really need to pin to, I mean it's a lot of it, I'm not really saving much space, but I only need to do from here to down here. This one's not that important, but maybe let's say if it was only right here, you don't have to pin tool necessarily everything out. So don't make more work for yourself than you have to. I'm gonna zoom in down here and just start making my little anchors. Oh, and what did I do wrong? I did not switch this to path. So I'm going to undo, undo. Switch this to path. I'm going to put the fill on nothing. I'm going to go over here real quick. Since I started something, I'm going to throw that away. Oh, I can't throw it away because I can't see my thing. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of that video I messed up on. There we go. Maybe I can throw that away now. Well, let me, sorry guys, technical difficulties. There it is. No, let me throw it away. Okay, well it's probably, I guess because I went backwards, there's probably nothing on it. Okay, so pin tool, I've set my path thing. That's right now. Try to split the difference pretty good. I will say this while I'm working on it, because I do want to go ahead and do this. When we get into, like if we were in class and we could actually be in Photoshop, there's some great features with the pin tool that this doesn't let you do. Like to make some really nice curves. Wow, that's like quite the face I made there. So I'm just gonna go around. If I want to come back and get this, if I really need it, that's going to be later. Sometimes doing this, you kind of need to decide if you're going to edit out some hair or like little wispies or something. Okay, so see, I can't see the bottom of this at all. This hand tool right here just allows you to scoot something. It's kind of nice. And I go back to the pen tool. So this piece of hair is gone. I'm not going to deal with that, but I will deal with my little side bun here. This little wispy I'm not going to deal with. And then that's probably as far as I need to go, but I'm going to finish this because it's just right there. So from here, I just go back around. I'm going to zoom out, which is on your all's keyboards, Control minus or Control plus, whatever way you need to go with it. Okay, right now, all I've done is made a path. I don't have a selection, so if I hit delete right now, it's not going to be helpful, and I need to be on the layer that I want to work with. But I need to make the selection first. So I'm going to go up here and make selection. I'm going to hit OK. Right now I'm on the shape layer. I want to click on this layer that actually has my picture on it. And before I do the delete, I want to go to select, modify, feather. And I'm going to put a 2 in here, I think is good. And hit OK. That just means it's going to make it a little bit fuzzy as I delete it. So I'm going to hit delete. And then it's Control D as deselect. It's not my best work. So when I turn this one back on, so see how it's a little bit hard edged. Could go back in and clean it up a little bit if I want to. It actually turned out really bad. I don't know if that feather did it all. That's really not true. I guess that's just one of the bad things about PhotoPea. It's a cool program, but its editing isn't that great. Because that should have been a lot cleaner. But take the time, go back in, and if you get some edges that are kind of obviously rough, just soften them a little bit. If you click once here, like I clicked there, and then I'm going to hold down Shift, I can erase into a straight line. I don't want to blur everything, but it's worth kind of cleaning up a little bit, and it might be nicer here, like with my hair. I'm going to go back in and just get rid of some of that, because that's what looks, the hair is really hard sometimes. I'm not going to worry about that right now. All right, so there's that, peeking in there. This one, I don't have any overlapping. That one, I don't have any overlapping. What else we got back here? Can't even see because I didn't delete anything on this one. So on this one, I need to rasterize it. Go back in and erase my backgrounds. So I'm going to hit delete. See if we can't find some of me back in the further ones. Delete. And then turn one of these on. That's my background one. I think I'm right there. So if I want to find this me on this layer, that's only covering up a little bit, and I need to clean up my edges. So I'm going to go back in here. So there's a lot of just kind of being patient and figuring out where you need to be, what you need to be erasing. Sometimes you don't have to do more work than's necessary. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now. I need to figure out what's blocking that one. So I'm going to go to this layer, and it probably is just me right here, but not completely. So this might be something where I really need to focus on my face and clean that up. That looks pretty good though. Now I'm going to this layer, and let's see what's covering, probably right there. That's a lot of detail stuff I don't know if I'd worry about. This might be a picture I'd throw out, because to make that look like really good, I'd have to really make that perfect. I don't know. That's a lot of work. Plus, that's a terrible picture. It's not worth getting. Okay, so final little things right here. I don't know how well you guys can see this and what it's going to record, but this has some colors off. We'll click on this layer, and remember when you go to the moving tool to hit the auto select and transform, although we don't want to transform anything. I'm going to go to image adjustments, brightness, contrast. You don't want to do too much of this because it's going to change me too. It's going to change everything. But I can bump up my brightness. I'm going to take it down until that color blends right in. So that looks really good there. And just see if anything else is really off. I mean, this one's not good. Everything else looks pretty good though, I think. So that's kind of how, this one is more about posing than anything, but I did want to show you the pen tool specific to this project. What you should not be doing is completely pen tooling yourself out and moving you somewhere. And an example, I want to find, I feel like that was this year that people did that a good bit, and it just doesn't look, okay, yeah, it's this one that's up. You can tell she just cut herself out, cut herself out, cut herself out. They're not, it's not like this, she wasn't right there. It's too harsh a cutting. That's not, there should be no cutting in this kind of image right here. There's nobody around her. An idea too for when you're posing is you could do wardrobe changes. It also doesn't have to be you that you photograph for this. You know, this might be fun to do with a family member. This was a little sister that she photographed and dressed up and had a big time. And think about where you could shoot this that might be really cool. If you do sports, maybe something like that would be really fun. This is a great one of her peeking in. I'll post this up there so you can kind of look through what some other students have done. It's helpful sometimes to see some other ideas. But that's it. That's the multiple me. Please do reference your criteria very closely so you can get 100 on this. All right, guys?